Hi, everyone. Welcome to Tattoos and Telehealth, another episode. And I'm Nicole Baldwin, and this is my great friend and colleague, Kelly White, and we are nurse practitioners, as you know, if you've seen our previous episodes. Today, I want to talk to you really quick about sleep hygiene and what that means and how to enhance your quality of sleep overall. So I'll let Kelly start off with just some tips, and we'll take it from there.
So, a couple of things that I want to start out with is why is sleep so important? It's important for a lot of reasons, Nicole. One of the big things that I think I kind of soapbox and harp on right now is, I'm perimenopausal. I haven't made that a secret. It's a big deal for women that are perimenopausal. It's a big deal for anyone that's trying to lose weight. I'll use this as a case study, just as a quick example. I have a patient that is working count them, two full-time jobs. So she works 8 hours, gets a 3 hour break so she can go pick up her kiddos because she's also a full-time mom, and then works another 8 hours. I don't know where this woman gets any sleep. Like, I think she grabs 30 minutes here and there, does meals, does kids, grabs a few, like, I truly don't know where she sleeps. She's morbidly obese. She is struggling to lose weight. She tries to eat right. Like, she's literally in a starvation mode. She cuts calories. She's in a calorie deficit. She cannot lose weight. So us, and also, taking care of patients that are struggling to lose weight, you and I, Nicole, tell patients that a calorie deficit is how you lose weight. This lady is not going to lose weight in a calorie deficit. Her
No.
body is in starvation mode because she's not sleeping. So sleep is crucial for so many things: weight loss, hormone balance. One of the big, huge hormones that your body produces that is critical for natural balance is cortisol. Your body has a natural cortisol rhythm that occurs twice a day. For most of it's 4 a.m., 4 p.m. I don't care whether you live Central Time, Eastern Time. I don't care. It's somewhere around there. It's a 4 a.m., 4 p.m. rhythm. Okay. It's about an every 12-hour rhythm. If your body is not able to get good enough sleep where you have that natural cortisol rhythm to produce good, effective stress balance, because remember, cortisol is your stress hormone, you're not going to lose weight. You're not going to feel good. The rest of your hormones are going to be out of balance, and everything else in life is just going to suck. Like, nothing else is going to feel good. So, that's why sleep is such a soapbox for me. If and when you come see me, we're going to talk about your sleep. Like, that's one of the big things in functional medicine. That's my question to you. How much do you sleep? Do you have a regular bed schedule? Do you get 7 to 9 hours of uninterrupted sleep? You may go to bed at 9 o'clock. Do you go to sleep at 9 o'clock? Do you stay in bed, or do you get up and go pee a few times in the night? Does your dog wake you up? Does your cat wake you up? Does your spouse snoring wake you up? Like, are you getting that good uninterrupted sleep? So that's incredibly important. So I'm going to start with that. And then a lot of times people don't understand how they can back up the truck and recreate a good situation to get sleep. So I tell people you almost have to reinvent the wheel when it comes to sleeping. So your body will understand that a certain room or a certain area is designed to do a certain function. That's like my office, your office at home is designed for work. We work at home, our work is at home, but our space is protected. Like, this is my workspace. I don't take work outside of this space. This is work. So when I come in here, my brain is like, I'm working right now. Okay. It's the same thing when you're going to sleep. When you walk into your bedroom and you lie down on your bed, your brain should think it's time to sleep. It's not time to scroll on my phone. It's not time to watch TV. It's not time to eat. It's not time to do anything else other than sleep. That's that. Your body needs to understand. We need to train your brain to think bed, sleep, bed, sleep. So you have to settle into a routine. So we have some sleep hygiene suggestions. Nicole, I want you to jump in if you have some that I miss.
Yep.
So
Go ahead.
one of the big things that I do is settle into a very calming routine. So you do that by setting yourself up for a good night. Like, have a nice routine. Avoid any activities that are exciting, frustrating, stressful. So for those of y'all that are crime junkies like me and you read those like super exciting, thrilling books or listen to those podcasts, don't do that a couple hours before bedtime. Your body is like all hyped up and doing all the things. And then you're like, oh, yeah, I got to go to bed now. No, your body is still like on this high from whatever you just read or watched or whatever. Okay.
Calm,
So
calm, calm.
calm, calm. So take a bath, take a shower. There's a good trick to this. If you take a warm bath and or shower, not hot, warm bath and or shower, and you step out into a cool room, it triggers your body to release melatonin. It triggers your body to think it's time to
Really?
Mhm. Triggers your body to take a release. Okay. So that's the first thing you can do. It'll automatically trigger your body. The second thing I want you guys to think of is no full spectrum light 1 to 2 hours before bed. Okay. Dim the lights in your house. Don't have on the big living room lights. Don't be coming from a big bright area. Dim the lights in your room, including TV screens. That's why we say no screen time a couple hours before bedtime, because that helps to set your body up for knowing that it's time to start winding down. It's time to start settling down. Your eyes take in everything all day, every day. Think about it. Your eyes probably are the most overworked external organ in your body. All right. They're constantly on the work. They're constantly looking, taking in, processing everything all day long. So give your eyes a break an hour or two before bedtime. No bright lights. Avoid caffeine after about 4 p.m. ish for most of us. For some of us, that's a lot earlier in the day if you're caffeine sensitive. Me, I think I could drink caffeine all day long and go to bed. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. It's those of us that are like me and you, right?
Hmm.
So avoid caffeine after about 4 p.m. Be mindful of the temperature of your bedroom. Studies have shown that most people sleep best at a temperature of about 67 degrees, 67, 68 degrees. That sounds cold,
I
but
love
that's
that cold. I love it. I love it. But my spouse is like, you're trying to freeze me out, but I love it in a warm blanket. I love it.
Yep. So turn the temperature down in your house, in your room where you can tolerate. Some people may not be able to stand that, and that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Turn that temperature down. That lets your body's metabolic rate slow down. You don't want your body keyed up when it's time to go to bed. Turn it down. Let your body slow down. That's what it's designed to do. Your body needs that rest, and that lets it know that it's okay to settle down.
So I want to touch on that really quick. So when you said, it just reminded me when you said heat up, like when you go for a run, your body heats up and it gets up your heart rate. When
Yes.
you're think about when things are cold, they slow down, your heart rate slows. Like that makes complete sense because if someone is submerged in like an ice bath, it slows their heart rate, it slows everything down, it preserves all the function and slows everything down. But when you're hot, it's like think about after you go for a run or after you do something like strenuous, your heart rate is up and you're hot. So it makes sense that your body is more active from a physiological standpoint when you're warm versus when you're cool. Makes sense. Interesting.
Absolutely. Um, the next one is kind of goes back to what I started with. Make bedtime a ritual. Okay. Make bedtime a ritual. When you go to bed, bed should be for bed and marital partner relations. And that's it. Okay. Bedtime is not for watching TV, reading a book, playing Candy Crush, whatever your
I'm
game of choice.
terrible at it. I'm terrible at that. I'm just right now. I'm terrible at it. I'm soaking this in from you, but I'm not. I'm terrible at it. I need to get better at it.
It's hard. It's hard not to be like, oh, it's time to go to bed. And then you go to bed and you're like, well, I'm going to sit here and get myself tired. No, no, no. All you're doing is keeping your brain stimulated. When it's time to go to bed, it's time to go to bed. If you're not ready for sleep, stay up on the couch, stay up in another room. When you walk into that bedroom and you crawl under the sheets, it is time to turn everything else off. Let your body chill. Some people need some white noise, and there's nothing wrong with that. Turn on a fan, turn on your white noise. I listen to thunderstorm sounds. I keep that on the nightstand. That's fine. It's a very chill, monotone sound that your brain can configure to, and that's okay. There's lots of studies about that. We can have a whole other episode about white noise if y'all want to. That's perfectly fine. But that's it. That's all your bedroom should be for. Okay. Now I'm going to jump into what I said a minute ago about cortisol. There's some other things that you can do besides, taking a hot bath to produce the melatonin release and drop your cortisol levels. Okay. You can do things like drinking tea, chamomile, passion flower, valerian root tea. Those three teas have been studied and known to cause your body to, excuse me, reduce cortisol, enhance melatonin, and help you sleep. Okay. All that does is regulate your hormones to let your brain and your metabolism slow down. Okay.
So
The
not
last,
my sweet tea that I like to make.
Not your sweet tea with caffeine loaded with sugar, none of that stuff. Nice, nice tea like chamomile, passion flower, valerian. Okay. Hot, preferably, just because there's something about that hot tea that just settles the body down. I don't know if it's a temperature thing. I don't know, but it seems to do the best. Studies have shown that hot tea works best. And then the last thing that I have is try to avoid food, any kind of food, 2 to 3 hours before bedtime, unless you have hypoglycemia. Those of you that have, especially our type 1 diabetics that tend to be very, very fragile, avoid food 2 to 3 hours before bedtime.
Very
That's what
good.
I have. What do you
Yes.
have? Anything that I didn't hit on?
No, I think you did great. I want to touch on something a little bit different. Like if you start, if you're struggling with insomnia, if you're struggling with excessive snoring or other sleep disturbances, um,
Yes.
you know, snoring is a sign that you're not, you may have an issue called sleep apnea. And sleep apnea affects the oxygen that we're getting. There are certain questions that have to do with, sleep apnea, your age, your gender, your your BMI, whether you snore, whether you someone has told you that you stop breathing while you're sleeping. There's this certain like quiz
Of your
thing.
neck too, right? The circumference
Huh?
of your Doesn't the circumference of your neck play a role in?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, yeah. And yep, absolutely. And so you're at a higher risk and then you get tested. And now there's so many tests at home. But when you have sleep apnea, apnea means you're not breathing. That word apnea means no breathing. And you have periods, and that means that you're not oxygenating the brain because when we breathe and our heart beats, it carries oxygen to the brain. So that means your brain's not getting oxygen, which means you can never really get into that REM sleep. You can never really dip into that deep sleep. Your body always keeps you up and kind of awake to make sure that you breathe, right? We can't, the body's very smart. It knows that I can't let him or her go into a deep sleep because there's going to be some periods of apnea where I need to be awake and alert to cause that breath. And so we never really get into that REM sleep, and therefore we don't get very good rest. Even though we're sleeping 10, 12 hours, if you're not getting restful sleep, if you're getting garbage sleep, then it's really moot. So it is important to get tested for sleep apnea. There is several no, there's not several. There's a couple different websites out there that they will, and it's covered by most insurances. They will send you the kit to measure, so you can sleep in your own bed. And they'll put like they send you a little thing to go on your finger. It's got a wire, and then it goes on your wrist, and you just go to bed like a normal night. It tells us so incredibly much. It tells us your heart rate high, your heart rate low, how long it was high, how long it was low, whether you got REM sleep, whether you didn't, whether you had periods of apnea, we really can diagnose sleep apnea with this little thing that's shipped to your home and is disposable. You throw it away, but it transmits all this data, and we can get you the help that you need. And so excessive snoring, daytime fatigue is another one. Consistent daytime fatigue. People that have sleep apnea, like let's say they did not know, and they say, okay, well, I'm going to test for sleep apnea. When they are diagnosed and they get the help that they need, whether it's a mouthpiece, a nose piece, a CPAP, there's so many little tiny things now. It's not this big face mask like it used to be. They feel so much more well rested. Like the rest that they get and that they have so much better days. So the better nights you have, the better days you have. And that's just across the board, whether you have sleep apnea or not, but the better nights, the better days. And so if you can create the better nights, whether it's with a CPAP machine or whatever, then your energy during the day is going to skyrocket. And I notice patients also have trouble losing weight because that have sleep apnea because they don't get restful sleep. So that cortisol rhythm is thrown off because they're not getting that normal rhythm of sleep. And then they feel like tired all day despite how much sleep they're getting.
Sleep
So,
is Sleep is so important, and it's just one
Important.
little thing, and it's so important. It affects so many systems of our bodies.
Yeah. Yep. One of the companies that does it is Gem Sleep, GEM sleep.com. I know they do take insurance as well, and they'll help you and they'll ship it to you. And um, they're very professional. They're amazing. I did some sleep study readings for them many moons ago when this was, just getting started, and it has just it's been amazing because patients are healthier. There's so many things that are associated with poor sleep. If I have patients that I'm working with on weight loss and they are not losing the weight that I expect, I always look for underlying disorder or underlying condition. And sometimes it boils down to their sleep and their cortisol because their body never gets to rest. It's always on high alert. And so they have this excess cortisol that Kelly was talking about, and it wants to hold on to the fat. And so they can't lose weight. And so sleep is just the moral of the story is that sleep is super, super important. And it is important to put those things into place that Kelly talked about, you know, uh, reserving your bed for sleep and not eating after a certain amount of time and caffeine and really creating that environment. I know when my daughter was young, we had a routine for her, right? Babies want routine, right? So we did bath bottle bed, bath bottle bed, bath bottle bed. Like that's what it, and so she knew that even as an infant, when it was bath time, it was what we were winding down with that lavender soap, like it was very, very routine, and it made it super easy. And adults are no different. Adults are no different. So it's important to create that routine like Kelly was talking about. So
Yeah, it's very important. Um, One of the other things that I kind of wanted to touch on real quick is perimenopausal women, menopausal women. Perimenopause is very crucially important. Is we get woken up in the night sweats. Um, and I have this complaint. So this is a shout out and a recommendation just for my perimenopausal patients. Do a lot of research on the different types of sheets that you can put on your bed. It has been a 1 million times game changer for me. I tried it. I'm that person. I'm always going to try something before I recommend it for my patients. And I tried it before I started recommending it, and it has been a game changer. So, do you guys remember the little muslin cotton sheets that you wrap your baby in? You remember those, Nicole? Like the little cotton, little muslin cotton blankets, little receiving blankets?
yeah,
There's a reason that we use those for our babies. They are temperature regulating sheets. We use them for our babies because they're temperature regulated, because babies cannot regulate their temperature, right?
yeah,
They make them for your bed. They make them in full size bed, queen, king, California king, doesn't matter the size of your bed. They were a game changer for me. I no longer wake up sweaty. I no longer wake up in the middle of the night needing to kick off the sheets, put on the sheets, kick off the sheets, put on the sheets. They are not cheap. They are rather pricey, but I will tell you that they are long lasting. They do the job. I don't wake up in the middle of the night covered in night sweats. I don't have that problem. And if I do, it is very, very minimal. So I would recommend perimenopausal women that are struggling and they can't figure out anything else to keep from being woken up in the night. This is a sleep disruptor. It is a period of your life that's going to last 4 or 5 years, and that is significant. Invest in muslin cotton sheets. Find an outlet, find a place that you can get them, invest in muslin cotton. These are temperature regulating sheets or any other temperature regulating sheets that you can find. It's a game changer. It really is.
before we go, will you spell, is it muesli? Is that what you're saying?
Muslin, Muslin, muslin cotton.
Okay. All right. All right, guys, that's all for today. We hope that you have a wonderful week. And as always, this is not considered medical advice, and this does not constitute a patient-provider relationship. If you would like to find us, you can find me at hamiltontelehealth.com.
And you can find me at charihealth.com, CHARI health.com.
All right. Have a blessed week.
Bye, guys.